This is gonna be fucking good.
Because it's Matt Walsh. Is he
Talking
acting in
that
it?
shit. It's just a documentary.
Oh.
Being a dad is one of the great privileges of my life. Give my son a BB gun, and that's just about all the emotional support he needs. My daughter, on the other hand, I've heard people say that there are no differences between male and female. Those people are idiots. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 4. I host a talk show. I give speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things. But making sense of females is a whole other matter.
Yeah.
Even astrophysicist Stephen Hawking, who could come up with a theory on black holes, was completely dumbfounded by women.
Women. They are a complete mystery.
And now our culture is telling us that the differences between girls and boys don't matter. That if you identify as something, then you are that thing. How do we help our kids make sense of this when they're bombarded with conflicting messages about gender and identity? Forget trying to figure out women. The real question is, what is a woman?
I want to watch this.
As you grow, your body changes from that of a young girl to that of a woman. Soon, Molly will be a young woman, having dates, going to dances in lovely romantic dresses.
The boy's shoulders are broad and his body muscular, while the girl's body is more curved.
I'd like to know more about different kinds of hormones.
Presence of these hormones in the blood brings about many changes in the bodies of both boys and girls.
Being a woman is one of the things I like best about myself. I think you'll like it too.
That was a hard little intro.
Yeah, he ain't fucking around.
Nah.
In the state of Tennessee, I'm a licensed marital and family therapist, which basically means I've been trained up to think about like systems, family systems, how we were raised up, how that shapes who we are today.
So on your website, if you'll bear with me,
Sure.
Quoting, you say, I use a combination of approaches in my therapeutic work, including anti-oppression, feminist, and narrative frameworks. I rely deeply on systems theory and understanding that individuals are products of and in dialogue with our surroundings, including our families, broader culture, workplaces, nature, and political climates. What does that mean?
Yeah, so thinking about the modalities that I use, I'm definitely informed by like feminist family therapy, and the idea is that we live in gendered worlds where there are certain imperatives that are placed on us about who we are and what we do based on how we've been gendered. From the minute I was assigned female, I was told, okay, these are the kind of clothing that you're going to wear, these are the kind of the type of play that you're going to engage in as a child, the path that maybe your life will take because of social expectations.
What do you mean by assigned female? Who assigns female?
Yeah, so most times people when they're born, they're assigned a gender
By the doctors.
Yeah.
Like, what do they base that assignment on?
So basically it's based on genitalia. So people looking at genitalia and deciding, okay, this is a girl or a boy. And we know now that that sex and gender are so much more than just this binary. Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas. That's not how gender works.
How do we know that that's not true? Where did we learn that from?
Yeah, well, I learned that from hearing from transgender people who've said, like, oh, I'm a trans woman, and just because I happen to have a penis, right, that doesn't mean that this is like who I am as a person, or that genitalia doesn't equal gender. Who they are, their gender expression, that, yeah, a trans woman is a woman.
With the fluidity of these things, how do I know if I'm a woman? You know,
That's a great question.
I like scented candles. And
Yeah.
I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do I know?
Yeah, Matt, that question right there, like that question is like when it's asked with a lot of curiosity, right? That's the beginning of a lot of people's like gender identity development journeys.
If my mom who gave birth to me is...
He's sitting here bullshitting,
I
and
know.
she just grabbed a hold of this motherfucker like...
She thinks she's saying something. She's like, exactly.
Like, Matt.
This means that if you're curious enough.
It's just remarkable that you said that, Matt. Matt's sitting here trolling.
Gender identity development journeys.
If my mom who gave birth to me is a woman, and my wife is a woman, though I haven't asked her, maybe I should. But if they're all women, and also the boy who sits down with you and says, I think I'm a girl, actually is one, then what is a woman?
Yeah.
Answer the
Great
question.
question. I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
What?
I thought therapy would make me less confused.
But can you imagine a child
That
going
be
through
your
that?
therapist?
Like, that's confusing enough as an adult.
Her what was her models? Like feminism.
But I'm saying
family.
She's like a fucking counselor, like a therapist and all this shit, man. And she couldn't even fucking describe the shit to Matt. Imagine how a fucking child is gonna listen to all that. You confused as shit. And she's like supporting it and like reinforcing all the fucking questions the motherfucker got. Like, you just no, you basically you are not what you think you are. You know what I mean? And just trying to fucking fuck everybody's head up, man.
Yeah, that's
dangerous. That's pretty bad, man. That's whack, man. Because it's like she's trying. It seems like she's gonna push everybody the way, like this way. You know what I mean? Like you would think a therapist is there to actually like analyze where you are and give you a good assessment on what they think.
Or
you may
open
be.
your mind.
Or open your mind, give you more information. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what? Just keep seeking these curiosities. You definitely are what you think you are, or you're not what you think you are. It's like you just confusing the fuck out of everybody.
It's crazy.
We're talking about gender in society. Let me start with a real basic question. What is a woman?
They should be quick to answer.
I don't want to assume, but you guys are all women?
Yeah, we're women.
So how would you define it, like in the simplest terms?
That is hard.
Yeah, it is. It is a stumper.
A woman is someone that likes to be pretty and think of themselves as a delicate creature.
I'm pretty indelicate.
Okay.
I could be a woman too.
Yes, you could.
Defining womanhood is just a project of someone who identifies as a woman.
Yeah, but what do they identify? You see what I'm saying? What do they identify as? They identify as a woman, but what is that?
I honestly don't know.
Whatever the fuck they want it to be.
It's a
Nobody
simple
can
question.
answer it.
That's fucked up, man. If I was a woman, I'd be pissed.
You have a vagina and women reproductive parts. You're a woman. Congratulations. You don't. You played yourself.
For all of human existence, women were understood to be a
We're all
certain
damn
thing.
feminists that are supposed to just tear this shit up. What the fuck you mean? What is a goddamn
So what
woman?
changed?
I would be giving them
No one can
business.
seem to answer the question now.
But they not. They just.
Over 2,000 surgeries and counting, Dr. Marcy Bowers is the nation's preeminent sex change surgeon. Surely someone who does sex change surgeries can answer what a woman is.
Dang, he flew just to talk to these people? He ain't fucking around.
Dr. Marcy Bowers, first of all, thanks for talking to us.
My pleasure.
So you're a world-renowned gynecologist and surgeon. You're also a transgender woman. Can you tell me a little bit about...
Well, I mean, I identify as a woman, but...
You're a woman, right.
I'm a woman with... I mean, that's my life, day to day.
I can't
But
tell
I have a
which-
transgender history.
I could tell. That's a dude.
I couldn't tell, like an old ass white lady to me.
I mean, that's my life, day to day. But I have a transgender history.
So one thing on your website, it says gender-affirmed, GAV, gender-affirming vaginoplasty. What is that exactly?
A vaginoplasty is creation of female, a female vagina
Can't tell
and
that's a
vulva.
dude. Look at
We're
the hand.
altering
now,
the
after they
physical
said it.
characteristics of the individual to fit better with a gender identity that is female.
This is all constructed from the penis?
Yes, that's right. The surgeries are quite refined in the sense that they really, not only do they look like female anatomy, but they also function that way. for the most part. I mean, certainly it's a bit of a Faustian bargain. You know, it's not perfect.
Does anyone ever regret their surgeries? Or, well, we know they do, but how often do people regret their surgeries?
Well, actually, we don't know that they do. There are legitimate detransitioners, and there are people who truly feel that in their journey, they may have made a mistake. Now, fortunately, this is a really, really uncommon phenomenon.
I don't know if you've ever heard of people in the trans-abled community. These are people who are physically...
I've seen so many fucking videos now, people like...
That regret it?
No, but they, like... This person has an agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
her. That's how she
that's her
makes
job.
money.
She's gonna make money off of that, so she's gonna make it seem like it doesn't fucking happen. But like as of recently, with all this trans gay shit going on, like it's been the numbers of people regretting the decision to fucking have these surgeries or have hormones and all that shit. The number of that shit is like fucking
crazy,
shooting up. But she's gonna make it seem like it's not a fucking problem.
It's uncommon.
Yeah.
Able-bodied, but feel like they should be disabled or identify as such. For example, a man who has 2 arms but feels like he should have 1. If a man in this kind of marginalized community went to the doctor and said, I want to have my arm cut off.
Which happens.
Do you think that...
That doesn't have anything to do with gender identity.
Well, it's someone's...
You don't understand
someone's self-identity, how someone identifies.
That's someone who has and I'll accept it as a mental diagnosis, a psychiatric
gender dysphoria
condition.
is a mental
I don't even
diagnosis.
pretend to know what aptomenophilia is all about. But somehow it's the
crazy.
idea that you and
That's literally the same thing.
It's the same shit.
It's no different.
Fascinated or charmed by having a limb or part of a limb missing. Okay, I would say that's
a doctor.
Pardon my non-medical language, kooky.
You don't see any? You think this is totally irrelevant?
Yep.
So, the biggest, broadest question is, what is a woman?
A woman is it's a combination of your physical attributes and then what you're showing to the world and the gender clues that you give. And hopefully those match your gender identity.
The critics on the other side of this, of this issue.
There aren't many, but go ahead.
There aren't many who would disagree with what you're saying about...
Well, the dinosaurs of the world are certainly out there. Yeah.
The dinosaurs.
We're dinosaurs.
The majority of the world are
How long
dinosaurs.
have you been running the shop here?
25 years.
I see, this is funny.
Now, you had an incident here a little while ago that went really viral online.
Oh, I remember that.
Lots of reaction in the public.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa Meskis confronted owner Don Suker about a sign he posted in his store.
If you are born with a dick,
you are not a chick.
Meskis confronted owner Don Suker about a sign he posted in his store.
One day I just put the sign up over here, and he came around the corner, and I thought, okay, I recognize him. I says, I recognize you. You're our new city councilman. He says, no, I'm your new city councilwoman. So it was kind of on from there.
You know what? It's bullshit.
No, what you're spouting is bullshit.
No, it's not. Trans women are women, sir. That sign is bullshit.
I've been doing this 25 years. I've never had a problem with anybody, whether they're gay, transsexual, anything.
Now, you're saying councilman, this individual was saying, I'm a woman.
Right.
And you said you're not a woman. How do you know that person's not a woman?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Well,
I use my gender
common sense.
Common sense.
Women are women!
Doesn't the science say that if someone identifies as a woman, then they are?
No, no. Now that's completely bogus. I don't care if you think you're a sheepdog and you come into my store. It don't matter to me. Just don't come in and try to shove that shit down my throat.
Facts.
If it makes someone feel better, what about their feelings?
I don't give a shit about their feelings. I'm old.
I'm old.
Jar Jar Binks, pansexual, do you think? Transgender?
Why would I even care?
If it's his truth.
Well, it ain't true.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major. Or are you?
No.
How do you know that you're a man?
How do I know that I'm? I guess because I got a dick.
Well, I guess Don isn't overthinking it.
See, it used to be so
So simple, bruh. So simple.
Because I got a dick.
Facts. Because I got a dick.
That was funny. See,
as hell.
I know old people are
It's like,
just
bruh.
sitting at home like, what the?
My name is What happened to my world?